Hello folks, and thank you for visiting my channel. My name is Tom, and today we're going to talk about the ID52A from ICOM HD transceiver. Now, this is a dual band VHF and UHF transceiver, and we're going to go along and explore some of the basic functionality of it. Stick around. Okay, now before we get going, I would like to give a little disclaimer here. If you'd like to listen to this radio and the different radio frequencies, you will not require a radio license. But if you would like to use the transmit feature on the side here, you will need to get a license through the FCC. And that process is not very difficult. I encourage everyone to get licensed and enjoy the beauty of ham radio. Okay, so this is the unit. I purchased that last year, sometime towards the end. It is very solidly built. On this end we have the PTT button, nice and big. It has some grooving on there to ease of pressing. We have your monitor and squelch button on the side here, and that's how you turn it on, the power button. Okay, going further down here we have the SD card slot. This is where a lot of the information will be stored, and it requires an SD card for some functionality in the unit, such as recording and storage of programmed channels and other features. Okay, let's look at the other side here. This is our interface side. We have a speaker and microphone slot here. It takes that double jack connection for a handheld speaker or a over the ear one. Okay, pushing that down, and down here we have our USB connector, which is a micro USB, and a little further down we have a power adapter that also comes with this unit once you purchase it. Okay, in the back we have a nice clip here to clip onto your belt, although clipping it to the belt may be not for everyone, as the center of gravity could shift easily and it could be a little tippy. I would recommend that you make sure that you are that it fits you quite well before you take it out on a bouncy castle. Okay, you can also swap the batteries. This battery is the stock one, but I know there is also an extended battery that you can change it to for a little bit more of a battery life. As if you transmit on high, of course the battery will get eaten pretty quickly. Okay, on top here is our indicator LED. It shows us if there is transmission coming in or you are transmitting out by the change. I think green is for receive and red is if you are pressing the PTT button and you're transmitting out. On top here we have the stock antenna that this came with. It is a pretty good rubber duck. I have had great success reaching far off repeaters here on the West Coast with it, and I don't see a need to upgrade it this time, but there are some options I can consider. Okay, here on the side, on the top here, we have a volume knob that you can rotate and a channel mode that you can rotate, and I'll show you how those work in a little bit. Those can be also switched over if you like the channels on the bottom and the volume on the top, of course. We're gonna dive into the menu system in a second. Okay, we can go ahead and get it started now, and I'll give you a quick overview of the menu here. Pressing the power button on the side gives you that nice welcoming screen. Shows you a little battery indicator there and the battery level. So we have channel A over here, and if you press dual, you can go to channel B, and if you hold the dual button, you can have A on the top and B on the bottom, and you can switch between them by pressing the dual button there. This is, as I mentioned, this is a dual band VHF UHF HD, but there is also a digital mode, which is a D star, and that's selected on the B channel right now is a D star, but you can go on to VFO if you'd like to do that. The D star mode is activated by the DR here. You hold it down, and this is how you you navigate it. Now on the top here we change through different repeaters. The ones that are closest to you are gonna be your best bet, of course. And then if you would like to search for a near repeater, you press this button here in the middle and it gives you the option between a digital repeater or an FM repeater. Using the GPS that's also built in this unit, you can find the closest one to you. Okay, now we go back to the home screen over here and pressing the menu button on the very top. All right, so this is your menu button. Starting top left here, we have voice recorder. So with this feature, you can record up to 12 seconds, I believe, and you can broadcast that signal onto different channels, onto different frequency until you get a call back. So instead of saying CQ a million times, you can just record it once and then have it go and repeat itself every, I think you can set it to every 10 seconds or so until somebody replies to you. Okay, and next over is a recorder. This is a very handy feature. You can record from a conversation. You can use it as a voice recorder, and you can also record transmissions from the International Space Station and then play them back on a slow scan TV software to get an image of the Earth, which is a pretty neat feat that maybe somebody is interested in doing. I certainly am, and I'm gonna be doing a video on that one later. Okay, we have a nice FM radio here. Okay, you press it on and then you can turn the radio on. Of copyright reasons, I'm not gonna do that, but you get the idea. Okay, back to menu. Okay, another great feature of this radio, and probably the top feature why most people are considering it, is because of that scope. When you turn it on, you get a little scope on the bottom here. Now when you are in dual mode, here it's not really in all of its glory, but if you go on just one channel and then you turn on the scope, you can get a nice waterfall. Okay, and you can look for activity that way. Now it's coming up all red because the antenna is against this speaker that has a magnet in there, causing all sorts of distortion. That is to be expected, of course. Maybe I can show it to you in a different way. Okay, you can kind of see that now that the antenna is free, you can kind of look for activity this way. And you can also configure how you want to scroll. If you like this to be in the center here, and you can just rotate the dial and the whole thing to shift, or you can select it by moving this dial along with a little green pointer. Okay, now the scope feature is amazing. I really love it and I've used it many times. Okay, let me put it back here in a strategic spot. Okay, from the quick menu here, you can quickly turn the scope off. This quick menu comes in very handy. You can quickly do different tasks, such as you can tone select, you can select the attenuator, you can also change the band if you want to quickly go to a different band. So the quick button is a shortcut, in other words, for you to quickly navigate through different functions here. Okay, we have a moving down along, we have a CD, which is the call records that you've made before with the last person you've contacted. I'm gonna scroll down here because it might expose some people's identities, but moving quite along here on the menu is your DV and gateway. This is for if you are living far away from a D-Star repeater. You can hook up this to your phone, and actually you can hook it up to your computer and access D-Star by downloading the software from ICOM. Very neat feature. I haven't tried that because I have a little hotspot at home that I've purchased, and that seems to be working quite well without requiring me to tether this to a computer. Okay, going back to the menu here, the picture. You can send and receive pictures via the digital mode on this transceiver. It's a very fun mode. I have received pictures when I have done D-Star, and I've also sent pictures out. Highly recommend this. This is very fun to do. If you are talking with somebody, let's say from across the world, you can share a picture of their surroundings, and very, very, very fun. Also, you have access to the GPS that's inside this unit, and from there you can set up all the different GPS modes. This has a DPRS in there, which is ICOM's version of APRS. Now I found out to be very hit or miss. Sometimes it tracks me, sometimes it does not, using my local D-Star repeater here. So I can't really recommend this for tracking because it hasn't worked out very well for me. But I know some people have successfully been able to track their escapades with it. Moving along here, and then is your set. This is all your options are. We have Bluetooth. It has also Bluetooth in it, which is pretty awesome. I can put on a pair of headphones so nobody else in the household can listen to static for hours. And you can manage the SD card. You can set up your time, the sounds if you like the click sounds on the keypad. Different functions here, the power save and all. Okay. DV set is to set up your digital profile, as you might say, putting that information in, putting your call sign in here, and then other settings about the scope. Okay, and also a scan feature here. You can configure the parameters of your scan, and then the DOP and toner up here. Okay, and then how do we close this quickly? We press quick and then exit picture screen. So you see how the quick button is a nice little shortcut for everything you do. Okay, one last thing here, we have a memory. When you scroll just off the screen here, now this memory is all the stations and the channels you have stored. They will be displayed here, and you can edit their names, you can edit their frequency, and rearrange them as you see fit. Okay, and that's about it with this nice little transceiver. I hope you found this video semi-informative. I mean, I'm not the best video maker, but I know a lot of people are interested in this radio, so I figured I throw my 2 cents in. Absolutely loved it. I've taken out on long hikes, and I've actually had really great reception with this. At times my phone was losing signals were dropping or no service. This thing, I could hit my local repeater here, and I had people on the other end talking with me crystal clear. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments, and if I forgot to mention something, you can also leave it down in the comments. Thanks again for checking out my video on the ICOM ID52A, and thank you again for checking out my channel. Really appreciate it. See you next time.